Hello, everyone. My name is Tim Crume. I am the owner of Crume Installations. I also own several other businesses in the real estate industry. We own some commercial spaces, some residential spaces. My main business is a service business where we install various things in homes, a whole lot of tradesmen, tradeswomen, and we've done pretty good. We were able to fortunately be able to grow the business in the last several years to an over $50 million business. We've got several $1 million worth of real estate today, and I've had a calling to share my story. So a little bit about me. I'm 38 years old, and I grew up in Mount Washington, Kentucky. Went to Bullitt East High School and met my wife there when we were 15 on the school bus. We've been together ever since. I got 3 children. That's 12. I got twins, a boy and girl twins. Kinsley is 12. She's my oldest, and then Sadie and Sawyer are 9 years old. They're my twins. My wife Shelby, like I say, we met on the school bus, oddly enough. So quite a few years ago. Still going strong, more in love now than we've ever been, and just got a calling to put some things on video into a recording to just kind of spread my message and my story, and the stories of a whole lot of other people that helped me get here. So started young in the trades world with my father and my grandfather and the rest of our family. Pretty much plumbing was all we knew, and always felt like there was something more, right? So work smarter, not harder. That's kind of been my motto for a very long time, and I wanted to do something outside of the norm. I wanted to make something that that hadn't been done, if you will. Granted, service companies exist everywhere, right? People own real estate everywhere. But for me, I wanted to do it differently. I wanted it to be a culture unlike any other. I wanted the people to come up as me, the owner, came up in the company. And the more success that I was able to grow over time, I wanted to be able to spread that out with all the people that helped me get there. So during this podcast, we're going to teach a whole lot of different things that we've done, a lot of conversations around taking the blinders off, right? So I like to tell everybody there's opportunity around all of us. It's just a matter of seeing it. So if you've been trained or taught, or you're afraid to take the blinders off and kind of look to your left, look to your right, and see what is available around you, I want to tell you through my story and the stories of everyone that I'll be bringing on here that once you remove the blinders, that anything is possible. You can be a small town boy from a Bullitt East High School with a high school diploma and build a company into the millions of dollars in 5 to 7 years. And it's not impossible. It's not easy, but it's also something that we're all capable of. And if we can believe that we can do it, that's the first step of being able to actually make it happen. So hopefully a lot of you guys can relate to the stories that I have, the stories of my guests. We've got all kinds of different people with different backgrounds, different relationships. I like to tell everybody I did all the wrong things. I hired all of my friends. I hired all of my family. And I've brought them all with me along the journey. And to be honest with you, I didn't bring them with me. They helped me, right? So between our relationships and the efforts and the time, all the different attributes that we bring to the business and in our relationships have really allowed me to grow as a human. I've experienced a whole lot of things over the last year or so that's led me closer to God and my faith. And this has been more of a calling now than it ever has. And I just want you guys to come on the journey with me on how we started and where we are today and what the future is going to look like. I like to say that we're pretty successful now, but we're just beginning. I've got a new lens on. I'm remotivated. I know more now than I knew yesterday. And as long as I continue to do that, I'm going to keep pushing forward. I put my family and my faith before everything. I put people over profits. For me, the people are what allow you to be able to have any kind of a profit, whether it's the installers in the field, the tenants in the home, the tenants, the businesses that are in your spaces, whatever that looks like. Without them, there is no profits. So you should always put the people over the profits. And man, when you can do that and you take risks and you see the opportunities that are around you and the billions of dollars that are just floating around waiting for someone to take advantage of it, like I say, anything is possible. I want you to go on this ride with me. I want you to hear my story. I want you to join my journey. And I'm hoping that through this, you guys will be able to start your own journeys. And in a couple of years or so, maybe start a podcast and talk about how I watched this guy from a little town in Kentucky talk years ago about how he started and how he wasn't afraid. And I decided to follow those footsteps and look at me now. So the goal of this podcast is to change lives. It is to build relationships. It is to diminish fear and increase your faith through the stories of people that can attest to it. So thank you for joining in on me today. I'm excited about launching future podcasts. I'm excited about all the future guests. We're going to have people that are currently in the business with us. We're going to have people that was with me while I was growing up that influenced me along the way. My family will be joining. I want my kids in here to talk about their experience, right? Because you're going to have kids, and it'll be good to have that, right? The different perspectives of people that have either impacted you or that you've impacted along the way. And you can either infect or affect those people, right? To tell you that I've only affected people in a positive manner during my entire journey would be a lie. But through infecting certain areas of my life negatively, I've been able to learn, scale, and turn my life around to do even better. In my marriage, in my relationship with my kids, my employees, everyone along the way has gotten to see me grow because of the way that they show up for me in the business. So it makes me want to show up even more and even greater. So if you can latch on to that mentality, the sky's the limit. I want you to hear how, when my kids were born, we were in a little bitty house. I didn't own a house when my firstborn was born. And just fast forwarding to when my twins grew up, we're in a 10,000 square foot home on 20 acres, and just the variances between their lives in such a short period of time. And how cool it is, right? I don't care necessarily about material things. Um, that's, I guess, part of my journey is I've never been afraid to lose it all, because I've had it, I haven't had it, and me and my wife were together before we even were able to work. So I know that's not why we got together, and we're still happy today. And there was moments, right? The roommate phases of the marriage, the difficulty of gaining financial independence. Most people want that, but it does come with its own set of problems. So through hearing how we've worked through that and hearing how the people around me have worked through that as well, it's going to give you kind of a full view of what it looks like to be what I like to call a blue collar millionaire. There's not a whole lot of stories out there about that, right? You hear all the doctors and all the other stories of the real estate moguls or the singers, the movie stars, et cetera. But like, what about everyday people like you and I? Where are their stories, and how did they get there? And they're kind of in the background, right? We're usually not in the spotlight. This isn't my most comfortable position to be in life, sitting in front of a camera. But I feel like I've been called to do this, and who am I not to be able to affect another person in a positive manner to maybe take the same kind of leaps and risks that I've done. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. We will have more episodes coming out very soon with guests to dig in and kind of start from the beginning of where we started and how we got here. So I look forward to seeing you guys. And remember, anything is possible when you take off the blinders. Thank you. Thanks for checking out the CrumeCast intro. Episode 1 drops next week. In it, I'm sharing the real story, the truth behind the pain, the faith that kept me going, and what it means to take the blinders off when you're building a life that matters. If you've ever felt like you're being refined in the fire, or if you're trying to lead, grow, and live on purpose, this podcast is for you. Subscribe now and get ready for CrumeCast Episode 1. It's raw, real, and just the beginning. Thank you.